Hi, it's Iwaiwai here, and welcome to my overly long review slash ranking slash tier list of all the songs of Eurovision Song Contest 2024, Part 1. So strap in dudes because things are about to get spicy. Now I'm going to divide this into like two separate videos. The first part, aka this one, I'm going to focus more on the semifinal 1 performance, whereas in my next video, I'm going to focus more on the semifinal 2 performance. So if you want to see the full review of the song from Netherlands, Greece, Switzerland and more, make sure you stay tuned for that. But if you want to see my review for the song from Croatia, Ireland, Ukraine and more, then you've come to the right place. So stay tuned until the end. But as always, before we begin, don't forget to go like, comment, share, and subscribe because it really helps me in my channel. And you can also follow my social medias too. You know the drill. And with that being said, let's get into the tier list! Alright, so I'm going to explain to you guys the rankings real quick. So we have S, A, B, C, D, and F. S is basically for my top 10s of this year's Eurovision. Like, it's the one that I repeatedly listen to on a daily basis, and it's the one that really stick out with me the most. And next up we have A, aka 8 and Look No Comes. Now this is basically the song that I really love, but doesn't really make into the top 10. I feel like there's just a little bit of thing that's missing, you know, like it's not really giving a top 10 material for me. B tier is basically for the song that's just cute, but at the same time is nothing special. Like, it's basically the vanilla of the tier list. It's basically the white bread of the tier list. And the C one is a bit of a mess, you know, like either from the live version or in the studio version. I think there's a bit of a mess in there, and I'm not necessarily a fan of this one. And there's also D. This is basically the mess. Like the big ass mess that is basically irredeemable, and there's little to no charm in there, you know? Like, it's the one that I like the least. And last but not least, F tier. Eliminate on site. And with this one, you know what Mother Naomi Campbell said?
I do not want to comment.
Why?
And I saved this F tier for a very, very, very special countries. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into the tier list. So first up, we have Cyprus with Liar by Silia Kapsis. Cyprus. You can always count Cyprus for sending the whitest bread imaginable. I mean, I still like it, you know. I like the beat. It's really catchy. And it's definitely one of the better girl bop from Cyprus, you know. I actually like this better than El Diablo. However, it's basically just Fuego 4.0, you know. Like, there's really nothing new. And the lyric and the theme of the song is also nothing new, you know. So although I really like to listen to it, I'm going to put Liar in B tier because it's just a bit too basic, you know. It's basic, but at the same time, they really deliver, you know, and Silia slays, basically. She's definitely a great opener of the show. Alright, next up we have Ramonda by Teya from Serbia. Initially, I put this in S tier because I love how personal it is, and that last part is just so impactful. However, the live version sort of fell out a bit, you know? Like, I still like the environment, I still like the vibe, I still like how personal it is. However, I feel like at the last part, I don't really feel the punch, you know? Like, I wish it could have been more darker, and I wish we could have seen a more intimate shot of Teya instead of, you know, focusing on the audience and whatever. But all in all, I still really like Ramonda. I still listen to it on a daily basis, and it still holds a special place in my heart as a reminder for me to keep going. So because of that, I put Ramonda in A tier. Alright, so next up we have Lithuania with Luktelk by Silvester. This one is also pretty decent, you know. I like it. It's definitely a perfect club song. I also like the live play, even though it can be a bit too seizure-inducing. And I also love the meaning, you know, like it's basically a song about feeling overwhelmed and feeling that you need some time to process all of the things that's going on, you know, because Luktelk basically means wait. However, It's not necessarily giving top 10 material for me though. Other people said that it should have been in the top 10s, or like other people seem to overhype this song. I just don't really feel the hype that much. It's not necessarily giving winner material, like I feel like there's just something missing. Like I don't think there's any moment in there that really delivers the big grand finale basically. So I'm going to put Luktelk in A tier. It's solid, it's banger, it's definitely a perfect club song, but it's not in my top 10. Alright, so next up we have Iceland with Doomsday Blues by Bambie. Now this is my first S tier. We stand a theatrical monarch. I love the storytelling aspect to it, like they're basically performing this ritual in order to maybe find a lover, and in the end they overcome those demons and they overcome the toxic lover and whatever. I also love the revamp, like the little strings and the instrumental is more effective in my opinion, like it really conveys the horror aspect of the song really well. Like both in the live version and the studio version, I feel like Bambie definitely has the whole package to deliver the big blow, It's giving Ash Nico song, and this is definitely one of the songs that I could listen to in order to shit on people that I hate. So yeah, Bambie, congratulations for being one of the Eurovision legends, yeah. Alright, so next up we have the UK, aka Ireland's neighbor, with Olly Alexander with Dizzy. This is by far the horniest performance that I've ever seen in my entire life. And the song itself is another banger, like it may be a bit on the low-key side, but it's definitely a banger and I definitely wouldn't skip it. However, it really does felt underwhelming, especially after it was announced, like I know that there's this hype around Olly Alexander in Eurovision, and I know that people aren't necessarily a big fan of Dizzy because it just felt too radio friendly. It's not campy enough, it's not extravagant enough for Eurovision, and I definitely felt that. However, with all that being said, despite the song lacking the punch that it needs, I actually still put this in my A tier because I actually like the staging and I also love the low-key vibe of the song. I mean, it's not going to land in my top 15 or in my top 10, but I still like it and I'll still definitely listen to it on a daily basis, so yeah. Alright, so next up we have the powerhouse of Eurovision itself, Ukraine. Now, initially, I didn't really put Teresa Maria in my top 10. Although it felt grandiose, although it felt inspiring and whatever, actually not the biggest fan of it. It's definitely one of the songs that, in my opinion, felt overhyped. However, my opinion changed when I saw the live version. Like, that shot of Jerry Heil alone, climbing with all of those, like, bombs in the background, and that shot alone is enough for me to put it in S tier. It's also giving a more patriotic and heroic vibe, It's almost as if Jerry Heil and alyona is inspiring people to get right back up on their feet in order to push through lives and its adversaries. And that final shot at the end when they were like laying on the floor and there's a lot of this like divas and Marias in it, that's also really, really artsy. I love that as well. You can always count on Ukraine for delivering that staging, and yeah. Okay, so next up we have the Tower from Luna, aka Poland's entry. Now, this is definitely cute. I put it in B tier, honestly. Now, I know that a lot of people were sad because we didn't get to see Witcher Tarohoro in Eurovision. And honestly, I agree with them. And I think that Witcher Tarohoro is severely better than the Tower. But that doesn't mean that the Tower is a bad song, though. It's decent. It's definitely one of the more pop-friendly songs. I like the tarot card theme of the song and how it basically represents how you go back up after a big downfall. The staging itself actually looks cute. I actually like the staging of the Tower. However, the live version is just not it. Luna's vocal is definitely more on the weaker side. She didn't really deliver the punches that it needs. I'm actually not surprised that she didn't get through. I still like Luna though, and she definitely deserves to be appreciated, and I really hope that people stop being so hard on her, you know? Alright, so next up we have our cat whisperer himself, Raiven Lasagna, with the song Rim Dim Tagirim representing Croatia. Now, this is definitely an S tier material. It's definitely my winner in semifinal 1. It's really fun, and I also love how this fun and upbeat song actually has a deeper meaning into it. You know, like it's basically a song about adulting and how scary it could be. Like it's basically a song about growing up, moving into like a new environment, and basically going into the unknown and feeling anxious as to what will happen in there. I also love the staging, and although Baby Lasagna didn't really interact with the backup dancer that much, the energy alone on stage is enough reason for me to put this in S tier. You know, like I am so hyped to see all of the people doing this dance in the stage, you know? And this is basically a better runner-up than Cha 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 from last year. And I really hope that eventually Croatia would be able to gain their first win at the Eurovision period. Okay, so next up we have Mother Hera Björk from Iceland with Scared of Heights. Alright, not gonna lie, I deadass thought she's going to pull a Serhat and actually qualify because of the meme material alone, you know? With the I Feel It Coming meme. And not to mention that this is just a wholesome song with an old people in it, and judging by how y'all reacted to Serhat or Buranovski Babushkin, whatever, I deadass thought that Hera would be able to make it through. But turns out they were in dead last from semifinal 1. I think this song is a bit too basic, a bit too outdated. But my god, this is basically one of the songs that is just so bad that it's good, you know? I started to unironically like this song. It's actually pretty campy, not gonna lie. I wish Hera would be able to lean in into the more campy side of the song, but alas, I'm not surprised that this got NQ'd. And I'm going to put this in C tier. It's definitely one of the songs that's so bad that it's good. And yeah. Next up, we have Germany with Always on the Run by Isaak. This is also in my C tier. The song felt too radio-friendly, it felt too bland, it's nothing new. However, I feel like the saving grace for Germany this year is Isaac's raspy voice. I actually really like his voice. And also the staging, you know, like I actually like the idea of the staging, you know, being this dystopian-ish world where everything is burning. I definitely get the messaging, you know, and how it's basically represented his inner minds that is basically a mess, and he's basically constantly on the run from his own self. He's surrounded with self-doubt, and he's basically starting to like lose himself slowly. But alas, I'm still going to rank this in C tier because it's just a bit too bland. And I'm definitely surprised that this got 12th place, you know, like I do appreciate how he's basically like this underdog that became like the hard dark horse of this year. However, I feel like it's definitely one of the more undeserved 12th place ever, you know, like I wish he would place lower because I feel like this song is just a bit too basic. Alright, so next up we have Mother Raiven from Slovenia with Veronika. This is definitely one of my favorites ever. I'm going to put this in S tier. I feel like the high notes alone is enough reason why I put this in S tier. Raiven absolutely kills it on the stage. I also love how raw it is, and I love how she basically decided to keep the nakedness from the music video. However, what didn't fit into the vibe of the song is the lighting. It's too bright for something so dark and so fucked up. It's supposed to be a song about how Veronika is basically falsely accused to be a witch and basically being drowned to death. However, the staging just felt too bright. There's little to no smoke, and it almost felt like you're in heaven basically, instead of being underwater and trying to grasp what's left within you. I need more despair. But alas, I think this song song still deserve an S tier, and I think it at least deserves more both from the juries and from the televotes because of how amazing Raiven sounds and how amazing this song felt. You know, it's definitely one of the more original ones that we got. Alright, next up we have Windows 95 Man with No Rules. Now, despite knowing that Pascana was hella rough, I actually didn't really mind it as much as I expected, you know? Like, I thought because of how over the top it is, I would hate it the way I would hate on Mama's Chair. And I also love how they creatively used this like censorship thingy, you know, as you can see from when Windows 95 Man is basically trying to cover his crotch with the cameras and the audience and whatever, you know. And of course, that little hands on fire thingy is hella fun as well. And yeah, overall, I think I'm going to put this in B tier. You know, like, it's not necessarily something that I would regard as like one of the best. But at the same time, I can understand the appeal. I can understand the over-the-top, campy feeling from this, and actually low-key appreciate it, you know? Okay, so next up we have Natalia Barbu from Moldova with In the Middle. Don't get me wrong, I think the song is pretty wholesome. This felt like a song that a mother would sing to her children, you know, especially with the lines of "My beautiful angel, work of art," you know. I also love the LED in the stage, you know. I think the coloring looks nice, and I think Natalia Barbu looks gorgeous in that white dress. I also love how people basically clap along during the part. But yeah, like, I think we all know that this wouldn't qualify, and I put this in D tier.
Anyway, so...
I think this song is just a bit too basic, a bit too unmemorable. It really didn't deliver what needs to be delivered. Compared to her previous entry from Eurovision 2007, I believe, this one just felt too tame. I still like the messaging, and I still think that it's a cute song, but alas, D tier. I'm sorry though. Alright, so next up we have Sweden with Unforgettable by Marcus and Martinez. Contrary to the title, I think this song is hella forgettable. The only thing that I actually like about the song is how futuristic it looks. I feel like the staging is futuristic. It felt like a rave song. However, the song itself is just there. I'm basically putting this in B tier. It's too bland, it's too basic. It's just a song about love and how you shouldn't approach this girl because she's venomous and whatever, and yet you cannot forget about her and whatever. It just felt too basic, you know? It's just your another typical sex song, and 9th place just felt a bit too high. I would put this somewhere in my top 15 or in my top 20 for that matter. I don't know, this song is just there. But alas, I can see the appeal. And yeah. Alright, so next up we have Australia with Walmil Kali by Electric Fields. Oh, this one is a mess.
Anyway, so...
I don't know, like, they promised to bring the staging. People said that, oh, I think they would deliver the staging and whatever, and yet what we got in the semifinal one night is just a big pile of mess. The vocals, although in a lot of moments they serve, but on some parts it just felt a bit forced. And the song itself didn't really help, you know. I love the cultural vibe of the song. I actually don't really hate it. However, the staging is just a bit mess. It's just too messy and it doesn't really flow perfectly, you know, like the synergy between all of the members in the stage is just not there. And I wish there's a clear plot in the staging, you know, instead of just all of a sudden there's like random people going on the stage and whatever, you know, like I wish there's more storytelling in it. And yeah, that's why I put this in D tier because the staging is just not it, sis. I'm sorry. Alright, so last but not least for the semifinal one, we have Yolanda with Grito. Now, this is basically one of the strongest ballad this year, and I'm going to put this in A tier. Now, I know that I previously put Grito in S tier in my short video. However, that's because I forgot to put Netherlands up there. That's why I put Yolanda in 10th instead of in 11. But don't get me wrong, I still love the song, and even without knowing the lyrics, I can still feel the song. You know? I can still feel it. I can still feel all the emotions that Yolanda tries to convey. It's basically a song about her struggling with inner demons, I feel like, and I think that's really beautiful. And I was so mesmerized by her performance on the stage, especially during the last part where she screams, you know. Ooh, no, that's how you deliver a big punch in the stage. And yeah, goddamn, I just really love Yolanda so much. And honestly, I would have loved to put her in S tier. However, she was so close. She's basically in my 10.5 place, you know. I'm so glad that Yolanda got into the top 10 placement in the actual results. So, yeah. So yeah, that is my overall ranking for all of the semi-final one performance. In S tier we got Croatia, Ireland, Ukraine, and Slovenia. In A tier we got Portugal, Serbia, Lithuania, and UK. In B we got Cyprus, Poland, Finland, and Sweden. In C we got Germany and Iceland. And in D we got Moldova and Australia.
Anyway,
Do you agree with this? Let me know in the comment down below. And if you're wondering how I would rank the rest of the song that we got here, stay tuned for part 2. I'm going to make it soon enough. And I hope I will be able to release it as fast as I can. So yeah, I hope you stay tuned for that. And I hope you like this video. So yeah, that is my tier list video ranking all of the songs from Eurovision Song Contest 2024 from semifinal 1. Thank you so much for watching my video, and I'm really sorry if there's too many mistakes in it. Comment down below! Do you agree with my tier list so far? How would you rank the songs from the semifinal 1 of Eurovision this year? Well, let me know in the comments down below and let's discuss it together. And if you're wondering why there's no Netherlands or Switzerland and Greece and whatever, don't worry. I'm going to save that for the next video where I will uncover all of my review for the semifinal 2 performance. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, in the meantime, don't forget to go like, comment, share, and subscribe because it really helps me in the channel. And you can also follow my social medias too. You know the drill. And with that being said, I'll see you guys whenever I want to see you guys again or whenever I can see you guys again. It's your boy Y signing off. Bye! There's no going back. Whoa!